I imagine the best place to start is the beginning. So how did you guys meet?
We met at Starbucks. Not at the same Starbucks, but we saw each other across the street from each other. And Hamilton got up the courage to walk across the street one day and approach me.
And I know that sometimes I'd be in one Starbucks, and then you'd be in the other, and then I'd think, maybe I should go over to that Starbucks next. I remember what I was drinking when I met you. Grande espresso.
That's right, and I thought that was really sexy. I was drinking cappuccinos.
I remember.
Then I went to lattes and now double espresso.
And now I'm a big old chai tea latte soy milk kind of guy.
Soy, yeah.
Because of the lactose.
You're lactose intolerant.
The thing about this is that really, since there's three people in the scene, there's actually four people in the scene, okay? Because there's the dog.
Yeah.
So you've got different objectives with each, okay? When you're in a scene with more than one person, every single person that's in your scene you have a different objective with them. The whole first part, you're basically talking to the therapist, right? And you do talk to each other to, collaborate your story. Your character. What did you guys have?
I really appreciated it. It certainly changed my perspective and sort of angle at which. Yeah, it's such a great scene. So like your perspective of like him being a closeted homosexual, it totally fits.
All right, good. So bringing our backstory into every single part of this, okay, is what we want to try to do, because the more you can do that, I think the better it's going to be. It's going to be, and how you feel about each other, you got to use that backstory for. First of all, both of you are trying to pass as a happy couple, right? With the therapist. A lot of the first part is about trying to look like a happy couple who has so much in common, right? You keep talking, I have a Mac, he had a Mac. And just think of all of these coincidences that made us perfect for each other, okay? Because you both know, the point right now is that you know you're not perfect for each other, right? That's just a given. But you're trying to hide from that with this Beatrice situation, right? And so you're upset with each other, you're mad at each other, but we're putting on a act right now for the therapist, for the world, for ourselves, right? Suddenly it becomes about your shame, right? And then the third section is about blame. Okay. so cover story, self-shame, and then blame.
This was very helpful. This is the most subtext I have came up with in all of the sessions we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's constant. I mean, it's complex. It's psychologically, right?
Yeah, it is.
Coffee here.
What's that?
We're sexualizing espressos. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Christopher Guest has that kind of sense of humor. Okay. So when they were probably setting it up, it was probably all ad-libbed, of him saying, okay, this is what you are, and this is what you are, and you're really uptight, and you're really gay, and, that you're, and then okay, now let's just ad-lib about your meeting, and because they're comedians, they probably came up with this stuff, and they picked and choose what they liked. But that's kind of the way comedians work, comedians that are in, Second City and all the different, Saturday Night Live and all that kind of stuff, is that they just kind of let it roll, but you're basing it all on your situation and who you are and your personalities, and then you just run with those balls, right? It's so much fun that you should really see how far you can go with it, or just be how specific you can be, and make sure you're reacting to each other constantly. Because
Yeah.
remember, what's happening here is you're not able to please one another.
Right.
And when you first got together, you probably thought you could because of the tone of the relationship in the beginning. She didn't seem interested in sex, so it seemed all right with you. But the same with you is that, look, well, I'm uncomfortable about sex. He should be the one that's making me feel more comfortable, and I'm going out of my way and getting books and doing Congress of the Cows and all this stuff, and still I'm not good enough for him. Right?
That's good.
It's you are wrapped up in the fact that she forgot the busy bee, right?
Right.
And she, is a failure as a wife and a mother. Right?
Right.
So that's what it's really about. I'm sorry I married her. I'm sorry. So don't worry about that too much, Michael. Just be in the situation and what it's really about.
Right.
Anything else between Shania, do you have anything you wanted to say before we begin?
No, Michael pretty much covered it. We did a lot more subtext this time, especially with the coffees and trying to change up our tactics rather than staying at the same tone the entire time. So we focused a lot on your happy, then shame, then blame, like major transitions throughout it. So I think it's our best one yet.
Okay, great. Let's see it.
So I imagine the best place to start is the beginning. How did you two meet?
We met at Starbucks, not at the same Starbucks. We saw each other across the street at a different Starbucks, and Hamilton got up the courage one day to walk across the street and approached me.
Yeah, I remember as clear as day. I was at one Starbucks, and you were over at the other across the street, and I thought to myself, well, maybe next weekend I'll go over to the other Starbucks. But then you were in the other Starbucks. And I still remember what I was drinking when I met you. It was a grande espresso.
That's right. And I thought that was really sexy. I was drinking cappuccinos, and then I went to lattes and now a double espresso.
I'm just a big old chai tea, soy milk latte kind of guy.
Soy.
Because of the lactose.
Because you're lactose intolerant.
Uh-huh. Anyways, and I walked over across the street, and there you were, and oh my gosh.
Working on my Mac.
And I had a Mac. And I look over, and you're reading J. Crew, which is insane because I was such a huge J. Crew person. Still am. In fact, sometimes on the weekends still, we'll go to Starbucks, and we'll take our LL Bean catalog, and I'll say, hey, honey, what's new? And then she has 5 minutes to tell me what's new.
Meg, why are you here?
Beatrice. She's been showing signs of depression.
Yeah. Ever since she saw us having sex.
When you were having sex, were you guys doing anything different or unusual in any way?
We got a book, a Kama Sutra. I lit some candles and played some music and got myself in a position that was not very easy for me emotionally. It's called the Congress of the Cow, where the woman is bent over, her hands are on the floor, and the man is behind.
And what did she do when she saw you?
She just stood there
staring at us.
She didn't say anything?
Didn't say a word.
And what would you like to say to Beatrice right now?
I'm so sorry, baby. I'm sorry you had to see that. She's not listening to you. Oh, she's nervous. She's freaking out.
We'll get the busy bee. You want your busy bee? Go get the busy bee.
It's
Why
in
didn't you have it out to begin with?
It's in the crate.
It's not in the crate. Do you see? It's just not in here.
It should be in the crate.
It's not in the crate. I just told you.
Hamilton, if she doesn't see get her toy, she's gonna flip.
It's not in here. Okay? Do you see? It's not in here. You left it in the park. Go get the busy bee, okay? Run.
Mommy's gonna go get you.
Go. Don't worry. Don't worry. Mommy and I we're just having a little discussion, okay? Look at me. Look at Daddy. Look at Daddy. Don't you look at that loser, fat ass freak. Look at me.